Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Sarana, your midwife. Yes, you know what I do? It's my topmost priority to get you educated on your pregnancy, labor, post-labor related stuff. And it's the reason I'm on your screen again today. Great! So today I'm treating a topic on the routine screening test done for pregnant women when they come in. We want to see why they are done, the essence. We want to go deep into it. So today I'm going to feature a professional on the show. I could do that for you. I could do it for you. However, I want you to get top-notch information. Isn't that great? So I'm going to feature a professional. He's a biomedical scientist, a biological scientist as well. To be precise, a biochemist. He works for Health Facilities Regulatory Agency, HeFra, and that is what he does for them. That is his specific field. Before I invite him in, I would want you to share this video to others, subscribe if you are a first timer joining us. Yes, subscribe and then share, get notifications as and when we release videos on these areas for you or for your view. I hope you get it. Yes, you also have the opportunity to ask questions in the comment section. You have the opportunity to like it, share your thoughts, let us know what you think or what you feel. Great. So let's get going. No beating about the bush. Let's invite Mr. Bennett, A.J. Kobia from Health Facilities Regulatory Agency. Hello. To take us through the routine test for pregnant women. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
I'm really grateful. I'm so pleased and honored to have you here.
The pleasure is mine.
And for honoring this invitation, God bless you so much.
Thank you.
Great. He's actually a very busy person, so coming here and you're better. So let's get going. But beforehand, tell us what you do.
Okay. My name is Bennett to our viewers, and I'm a biochemist. Yes. So on a day-to-day basis, the work we do mostly is on clinical diagnostics. Yes. Identifying disease, the relationship between disease, the organisms, and then the function of the healthy human being. So mostly that's what we do.
Okay. Clinical diagnostics, anything clinical diagnostics. He's here for you. So let's go straight to the point. Today we are treating the routine test, the routine screenings, health screenings that are done for pregnant women. Why we need to even do it, the essence of it, and we want to go deeper to details into some of the tests so that we will get understanding as to why we do it. So, can you take us through these tests that are done for pregnant women when they come in for their visits?
Yes. So for antenatal care, as you are treating it, your physician will prescribe for you a series of routine laboratory tests to ascertain the physiological state of the mother currently as per the start of your antenatal care. Yes. So there's hematological tests and biochemistry tests. Yes. Now, FBC, full blood count, is usually recommended. Hemoglobin analysis, sickling, blood grouping, and then rhesus factor identification. Yes. There's also the screen for G6PD. There's a screen for Hep B, Hep C, other general infections, and then there's screening for HIV, syphilis, and other STIs. Yes. So generally, those are the tests that is recommended for pregnant women.
Okay. So you mentioned hematology. I may not be able to understand that. Maybe I'm watching today. You may be watching today. Some of us watching today may not be able to understand or break down what hematological and the chemistries and the microbiologists and the immunologicals So I want you to come to our level. Calm down. Yes.
Okay, so
We know you're a professional, you are there, but please come to our level for us.
Okay.
Mention the test, one after the other for us. Tell us if they are specific to conditions, and then so that we'll get deeper understanding. I hope you can do that.
Yes, so let me calm down. Blood tests, okay? Now, to check the state of your blood itself, that's a hematological test. You have red blood cells, they carry oxygen for circulation, white blood cells to defend against infections. There are some other details, but you will go to. Yes. So most of the time, these are what is requested for. Now, there are conditions that are very peculiar to pregnancy. Okay. Yes. And then this test establishes a baseline for the mother at the start of the pregnancy. So as I said, the full blood count is to check the state of your body's defenses, so to say. Yes. Whether there's a prevailing infection already with your mother, which her body is fighting, is to check the state of hemoglobin in her body, her oxygen carrying capacity. Yes, in her body. That's for the hematological test.
Okay.
And then blood grouping and the rhesus factor.
I think by now most of us should.
Yes.
Okay.
Most of the time we add the rhesus factor to the blood grouping analysis. So we don't usually
Separate.
Yes, we don't talk on it, but it's one of the most crucial things to check out for during pregnancy,
Okay.
especially for Rh negative mothers.
Okay.
Yes.
So if I'm O negative, it means it's very crucial for me to check
Yes.
my rhesus factor in pregnancy. Okay.
And then there's the liver function test, as I said. Yes. They check the state of the body's functioning, the liver's functioning.
Okay.
Yes. And then there are markers that are alanine, transaminase, aspartate, gamma glutamate transferase. There are a whole number of them. Yes. They are collectively called the liver function test.
Okay.
There's a kidney function test. And then we usually do urine analysis,
Okay.
stool RE.
Okay.
Yes. So most of these are what the blood tests
Are basically
Yes.
about. Yeah. So you also spoke about. I'm more interested in the tests that are specific to conditions.
Okay.
Let's say GCSPD
Okay.
or 2 hours postprandial, 2-HBP, hemoglobin A1C. Yes, and what have you, the lipid profiles, and what have you. Can you go into that for us as well?
Okay. Now, pregnancy in itself is stressful, physically and then biochemically. Yes, the amount of oxidative stress in pregnancy, it's more than what you face on a normal day.
Okay.
One usual thing that we try to check out for is the mother's oxygen carrying capacity to sustain her and the developing fetus.
Okay.
Yes. Hemoglobin is what we use as our oxygen carrier for our bodies.
Okay.
And then our oxygen levels essentially establishes the amount of energy our body is able to produce. Yes. In conditions of an anemia, there's usually a lowered carrying capacity for oxygen. Yes. And this might have a lot of implications when the body does not have enough oxygen in the tissues for work. So that's mostly why we carry out the hemoglobin analysis,
Okay.
RBC count, ferritin tests. All those are related to hemoglobin structure and function.
Okay.
Yes. So first one is to check for anemic conditions.
Okay.
Yes. And then in cases where it's found to be lower, or in most cases, yes, the women are also given, how do I call it?
Hematics.
They are given drugs
Yeah.
folic acid, all
And
those
what
ones.
have you, the
Yes,
hematin?
that's to boost their production of red blood cells and then function of hemoglobin.
Okay.
Now, a second problem we usually have is hypertension and then diabetes. These are very, 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 very dangerous for
We say they are
pregnancy.
cousins.
Yes. As we mostly say, they are cousins.
They are cousins.
Yes. So the physician also tries to ensure that during pregnancy, the mother's glucose levels are maintained at normal function levels that are not dangerous to the mother.
Okay.
Yes, that and then hypertension, pregnancy is hypertension. Yes. So whenever you go to your ANC clinic, your blood pressure is checked.
You can't
always.
escape that.
Yes. So blood sugar levels, hemoglobin levels, blood hypertension. Yes, these three are, I would say, one of the most important factors. In addition to
The rest.
in addition to autoimmune disorders.
Okay.
Yes, and then other infections, STIs. Because of the relationship between the mother and child, it's very easy to transfer these infections to the child. Yes. So these tests within this period is to safeguard both the mother and then the child.
Okay.
Yes, throughout the pregnancy.
So, my question is, should I have a presenting complaint before I have these tests done for me, or routinely they just do it for me?
Routinely, these tests are done to monitor. The important part of the testing is not the checking or the identifying of problems.
Okay.
Yes, the important part is to monitor the woman throughout
Her pregnancy.
her pregnancy to check the changes.
Okay.
Yes, and how they affect the risk factors of these conditions, health conditions. So these tests will be assigned for you to do periodically, whether the tests come back normal or not.
Okay.
Periodically, you have to check to ensure that the mother is safe, the child is safe. Yes. So some of them will be done once. Blood grouping, for instance. Once you identify your blood group, it will be done once. Yes. And then in cases where the mother is negative, but maybe carrying an RH positive child, then there's an anti-D prophylaxis that's usually administered
To them.
to the mother.
But if we don't check, we
Yes.
wouldn't know.
Yes. So some of these would be done periodically, regardless of the amount.
Regardless if I'm fine, let's say I come for my first visit,
Yes.
you do the routine that it comes out fine. Going forth, I'm still fine.
You still have
Fourth
to check.
and fourth, I'm still fine. I still have to check.
You always have to check your
Sure.
hemoglobin levels.
Okay.
You always have to check your blood sugar levels. You always have to check your blood pressure levels. You have to check your infections. That means
So it means that it just shouldn't be only when I'm having issues.
No.
Say I'm sick within the pregnancy that the lab test should be done for me. Or that is also there where, I mean, you fall sick within the pregnancy. Pregnancy is not sickness anyway. You can fall sick within pregnancy. So it can also be that aside routinely, I should have a presenting complaint to get more tests done.
Yeah. Okay, so let me put it this way. The routine tests are prescribed for every pregnant woman.
Okay.
However, after the routine test, if some of your test results show an increased risk of certain complications, your physician would let you do further tests on those ones for confirmed diagnosis and then possible treatment and management. Yes. So even for normal people, normal pregnant women, you still do the test. And then based on the results that come out from those tests, other specific ones maybe as
recommended.
Yes.
So it means that these tests are meant to bring out something.
Yes.
Are meant to show us something. Are meant to show your caregivers something at whichever point in time within the pregnancy.
Yes. They are to ensure that the mother stays within healthy limits.
Okay.
Yes. So that's why they are recommended periodically. Okay. You know better on the specific times.
Exactly. I mean, as and when we go for
yes. So the blood test, ultrasound screening, all these ones are done to monitor. As I said, the important aspect is the monitoring, so that where the need may arise, precautions will be taken. Yes, preventive measures will be taken, so that before and then during delivery, you don't get any surprises. Mostly, yes.
All right. So, if you just joined us, this is time with Mr. Bennett, AJ Kobia, a biomedical scientist from Health Facilities Regulatory Agency, and today he's taking us through health screening or various screenings tests that are done for pregnant women on their day-to-day routine visits as their pregnancies advances. And he's mentioned quite a whole lot of tests that are being done. He's given us the gradings. You don't need to worry about it. I'm just going to mention the tests as they are. He is a professional, so you see the terms he's using. They are quite bigger than some of us. Yes, I mean some of us watching right now. So what I'm going to do now is to bring out some of the tests that he has mentioned, and then let you know he has actually spoken about why we do those tests, what is specific to. I'm going to just give highlights on it, so that if you are confused, you just find yourself at this stage, you'll be at par with us before we move on. So we had Mr. Bennett talking about routine tests like the fasting blood sugars. I mean, before you eat, fasting, you check your blood sugar. He spoke about full blood counts that are going to tell us your rates, your parameters, whether you are healthy blood wise or white blood cells wise, that is infections, if they are okay for infections. He spoke about having your HB done, which is also part of the full blood count, making us know your hemoglobin levels and your oxygen carrying capacity, because you need actually oxygen to carry the pregnancy. He spoke about infectious tests like the HIVs, the syphilis, the Hep B's. And then he spoke about doing urine analysis and then stool analysis. He spoke about immunological tests like the blood groupings. Yes, he spoke about the also the liver function test. He spoke about kidney function test, the lipid profiles, and even HVS. He spoke about it, the H. pylori's, and then he made us understood that some of these tests are specific to some conditions, and that is why they are being done, to be able to detect these conditions at early rates or early stages and know what to do for you as and when. He spoke about conditions specific to anemia, conditions specific to hypertension, diabetes, PIH, infections generally that are not supposed to even be transmitted from mother to the child. So that is the page. I hope I did well with the summary. Yes, so that is the page with which we are on now. So these are some of the routine tests that your physician would ask you to do as and when. And I believe you know why you are doing it now, because he has explained to us. He has been speaking about blood group incompatibility. That's the ABO incompatibility, the resource incompatibilities, and what have you. Now, he also made mention that some of these routine tests are going to be done throughout pregnancy, not necessarily only when you present with a complaint, but as the pregnancy advances at certain ages, we make you go through this test just to be sure that you are still safe, you are still okay as you started. And then if you are not okay, we know what to do for you. For example, doing a scan. I mean, at the early stages, you take a scan. Going forth, you do another scan to detect anomalies and what have you. So it's the same thing with the routine tests or these tests that I've spoken about, that going forward you'll be doing more specific tests for us to know. You may have started with just fasting blood sugar or just an HB, but going forward you may be doing 2 HPPs, that's the 2 hours postpartum, which are more specific tests, right? Yes, you'll be doing more of the liver function tests and what have you. And also, if you present with a complaint, you also do tests specific to your complaints for the physician to know. Clap for me. I did great, right? all right. So, I think with this, you have given us so much enlightenment as to the tests that we do. So, is there any essence? Why do we even need to go through this? I'm pregnant. I'm going through a whole lot of stress. Pregnancy is stress on its own. Then I always come to the facility, and then the doctor or the midwife keeps giving me one test or the other. If it's not fetal cakes today, it is sugar the next day. It is this the next day. I mean, why do we need to do this? I believe you said some, but yeah, we need more. Let's.
As I said, the purpose of antenatal care clinics are to ensure that the mother and then the child, both of them, remain healthy throughout the period of pregnancy.
Okay.
Yes. In as much as they want to do that, that aim is being. Those are some of these tests are done. And then, now, the essence of antenatal care clinics is to ensure that the mother and child are both in a healthy condition prior to delivery. Now, to check for these conditions, that's why the routine tests are asked for, are requested, so that the results will let us know whether the mother is healthy or not. Whether there's cause for alarm, and then there are preconditions or risk factors. Some people are more likely to have pregnancy-induced hypertension, gestational diabetes, all those that. Yes. So these routine tests would give us an idea of your risk level for certain conditions.
Even our neonates. I mean, some of our neonates are also liable to develop conditions like jaundice and what have you, even from utero, if tests are not run.
So these are the reasons we perform the routine tests. And whenever routine tests bring out certain alarming issues, then specific tests may then be required. For the specific ones, we will go into details some other time. Yeah, but today we are focusing on the routine.
The general ones.
Yes. So to prevent our health practitioners from having to battle not having enough information on your clinical status, that's also why we recommend these tests. Yes. So I think that's basically the
to avoid surprises.
To avoid surprises.
A mother may just be at home and not go through any lab testing, no antenatal, and just show up for delivery. That's so much surprise, and we wouldn't know how to handle you. If you need blood, we are now going to do the testing to know your groups and what have you.
So for example, blood sugar levels. Okay, it's been found that having higher levels may increase the chance of having a big baby.
Okay.
Because of the excess sugars that are available. The other conditions is, so if the tests are done and the results are analyzed by a physician, he would then be more aware of your risk factors and then make sure that precautions are taken. Yes. So I think this is the essential aspect of antenatal.
So the essence,
testing.
the reasons why we do it. Oh, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for taking time out to educate us on the routine tests and why we do them. Even the essence. So I know you've said a lot, but before we leave, we just want to wrap up. So before you leave, what are your words for us?
Okay. The little I'd have for our pregnant women is that antenatal care helps. It is very essential in minimizing mother mortality rates during birth. Yes. It may not be an absolute remedy.
It may not be 100%,
yes. But compared to when antenatal care clinics are not done, it really helps in reducing maternal mortality rates.
Not even mortalities alone, but transmission of certain conditions to our babies and what have you.
So please attend your antenatal care clinics punctually. The advice your midwives and then the physicians will tell you, please adhere to them. Okay. And then to our men, please, as I said, pregnancy is stressful. It's very stressful. Let me put it that way. Carrying a second person in your body. Unfortunately, men will never understand fully what it means. Yes, but at least from a clinical point of view, it is very stressful. So I'd also advise and appeal to our men that please support our men in whatever way you can.
Okay.
It's good to have your man accompany you to the antenatal care.
Isn't that lovely?
Yes, when he has the time, because the information disseminated there is not only important for the mother.
But
as a husband, as a partner, it's better to know more information about your wife's condition, so that at least you'll be in a better place to support them.
okay.
Yes. If your wife is probably having induced hypertension, they say diabetes.
There are a lot of things you will be restricted from doing.
Exactly.
If you don't follow, you wouldn't understand.
If you're a man and you don't know what, you always be pissed off. You see? Yes. So please, I would appeal to our men. Please, let's support our women through pregnancy. Okay? It's a lot of work. Yes. It's a very daunting task. But antenatal care helps. Please attend antenatal care.
Yes.
Punctually, please.
Punctually. Thank you so much for your words. So sweet. Please attend your antenatals punctually. Do not hesitate on, getting your test done. Yes, we know it's money you are spending on those tests. However, we say life or health. It's everything, right? Great. So it's better you spend on these tests during the pregnancy and we get to know that all is well, and then everybody is, okay, your health workers are not stressed, yourself, you are not stressed, and everybody is at peace. Then our men are also being admonished to accompany their wives and support them. Pregnancy is stress on its own. You don't need to add on more stress. Ideally, in our part of the world, we should be doing preconception care, where we'll do all these tests and know that we are even fine during the before pregnancy and what have you. Yes, but it's unfortunate most of us don't even patronize preconception care in our part of the world. However, these are also opportunities for us to know our health statuses. So, I think this has been a great session so far. Yeah. So I'd like to thank you so much for coming on board, taking all the time off your busy schedules, and then coming to teach us what we need to know about our test, and making sure we know that our physicians are not just prescribing the tests for prescribing sake, but they are actually necessities to finding certain parameters in our pregnancy. So we'd like to say God bless you so much for coming on this show. Meeting with your midwife, Sarana. So viewers, I hope to come your way another time with another interesting, educative session. In the meantime, I'll close up and say that keep supporting us, viewing, sharing, subscribing, so that we can do more and more and more for you. It's bye.